In Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss, there are two distinct factions of demon royalty that exist, the Seven Princes and the Ars Goetia. After many requests, I decided to do a video breaking down who would win if the two went to war against each other. My name is Deepcut, hit that subscribe button, let me know off the top of your head who you think could win, and after the video, maybe go back and let me know if I changed your mind at all. The Seven Princes are of course seven noble demons who each rule over one of the seven rings of hell, each prince embodying one of the seven deadly sins and inspired by the Peter Binsfeld classification of demons from the 1500s. This list is similar to other lists around at the time, including one called the Lantern of Light. However, Peter Binsfeld was known for interrogating witches, or rather, torturing women, men, and even children under the pretense that they were witches, and he claimed that this classification of demons was what they gave him as the hierarchy that they worshipped. Again, it is nearly just a rearranging of a similar list called the Lantern of Light, however. Regardless, this became a popular list in demonology, and eventually went on to inspire the characters in the show. The Ars Goetia were an addition to demonology in the 1600s. It was part of a text claiming to be a guide to summoning 72 demons and having them teach you mystical things about the mysteries of Earth, with each demon having their own rituals and specialties. The Ars Goetia was in a larger book called the Lesser Key of Solomon, also not the first grimoire of its time, and not even the first claiming to have been passed down from the time of the Jewish King Solomon, who these sources claim used the demons to build his legendary temple. Now in the show, the actual territory of hell is divided into those seven rings, which seem to be stacked on top of each other in some way, with each acting as its own sort of country, and each prince being sort of a president or prime minister, with Lucifer being a sort of king of the entire planet, though he mostly just rules over his ring, Pride, with the other princes ruling over their own rings beneath him. His rule as king seems to be so loose that the other princes are able to take advantage of him in the public legal courts, with the Prince of Greed Mammon having a legal document vouching for his knockoff of Lucifer's theme park as being legally distinct, with Lucifer not having the authority to stop Mammon from blatantly ripping him off. Now obviously, in a one-on-one outright fight, I think Lucifer would annihilate Mammon. It has been confirmed by series creator VisiPop and series writer Adam Nalen that Lucifer is a fallen angel, and one so powerful that he is immune to items like the angelic weapons that can kill immortal sinners, and even demons like Stolas in the Ars Goetia. Instead, Lucifer is only able to be smited by an angel of higher ranking than him. Whether Mammon is a fallen angel or just a demon, Lucifer does outrank him and is the most powerful being himself in hell, so the real issue Lucifer faces is the systems he creates to control others being reverse engineered against him. Now the Ars Goetia are a bit mysterious, but thus far in the show they appear to be an important part of the system that Lucifer put in place in terms of control, and if Lucifer is trying to conquer Earth as well, the Ars Goetia appear to be even more instrumental to that than the other princes. With Asmodeus being both a prince of the Lust Ring and a king in the Ars Goetia, it gives the impression that the 74 goetic demons are scattered across all 7 rings of hell, instead of being isolated to just the Pride Ring like we've seen with Stolas and his father Paimon in flashbacks. While the 7 princes rule over their rings as a whole, they could have 10 or so Ars Goetia demons serving under them, helping to maintain order and control. It would explain why Stolas, a goetic demon that rules in Pride, comes down to Wrath in order to curse their food with the harvest moon each year. Each goetic demon could have their own assortment of demons in their own ring that they each rule over, but travel as necessary to fill duties throughout the 7 rings. If Stolas is any indication, many populations may be built up around a goetic noble. Stolas, we learned, is only in his 30s, placing his birth somewhere around the time that Imp City was first being established, which was 1981 according to the signs we see in the show. It would appear that the city was established specifically for Stolas to rule over, and the same is probably true for the other nobles born in hell. Stolas, as just one of several princes among 74 total nobles who all share duties, is already responsible for uncovering the mysteries of the future using constellations, in addition to monthly full moon rituals and the annual harvest festival that helps with hell's crops as mentioned before. The goetic demons appear to all have very important roles, not just all over Hell's 7 rings, but even in the war against Earth, something Lucifer appears to be at the absolute center of. The 7 princes, on the other hand, seem more focused on ruling over their rings than trying to conquer Earth, and inflicting their own sin among the population. The only exception we know so far is Asmodeus, who is also a king in the Ars Goetia, as we said, so it would make sense for him to be invested in that if the others are too, even if only because of certain duties. Paimon is even said in real-life writings to be the most loyal demon to Lucifer, and though that may not be true in the show, it could be an indication of how Asmodeus is more interested in his role as the Prince of Lust and putting out the nightclub lifestyle he wants, instead of conquering the earth, and sending his succubus up to spread sin and potentially STDs may be something he does more so as a duty to the Ars Goetia. With all of that in mind, if there was a war against the Seven Princes and the Ars Goetia for whatever reason, I think Asmodeus would ultimately side with the Ars Goetia. If Paimon is turning against Lucifer, I imagine Asmodeus would too, as he probably thinks the Ars Goetia will leave him alone in the Lust Ring and not bug him so much if he helped to overthrow Lucifer. The other princes may not side with the Ars Goetia per se, but may not put up a fight against them alongside Lucifer. The other princes seem really content to run their rings and enjoy the benefits of enforcing their lifestyle on the rest of Hell. They could essentially step aside and continue to do what they're doing in some form with whoever wins. Mammon seems ready to outright betray Lucifer considering how he loves to screw him over legally and make money off of it. Beelzebub just seems to want to enjoy a gluttonous lifestyle through her enslaved hellhound system, and Belphegor in real-life mythology is said to have only rebelled from heaven because they wanted to be lazy in hell and not have to work like they were expected to in heaven for the cosmic order of things. While another prince like Satan may be ready to fight alongside Lucifer, even his imps may be under the control of goetic demons, considering that Stola shows up to the Harvest Festival, but not Satan himself. Satan appears to be someone they revere like a god, but if the Ars Goetia are running the actual system that Satan uses to control those imps, it would be hard for the imps to figure out how to actually help Satan, as the Goetia were essentially their middlemen. Lucifer is the most powerful being in Hell, but the question is, what could he actually do to 74 extremely powerful demons, as well as potentially all the natives they rule over, and even the Earthborn sinners? Could Lucifer simply do some sort of angelic nuke that destroys a bunch of demons all at once? I don't think so. Supposedly, Lucifer helps orchestrate the annual extermination that kills sinners each year, and he wouldn't need that angelic technology and angelic invasion if he could simply drop some sort of angelic bomb to kill all of the sinners in particular who he deems to be a strain on Hell's population. While Lucifer could completely destroy a lot of systems in Hell, I feel the end result of a full-scale Goetia rebellion would be Lucifer simply having to give up Hell. It is this sort of possibility, no matter how loyal the Ars Goetia themselves may be, that really seems to be the motive behind the annual exterminations, as Lucifer himself is starting to realize that the population of sinners could just overwhelm him and be uncontrollable, no matter how powerful he himself is. They may not kill Lucifer, they may not be able to hold him down, but with enough sinners who keep regenerating or remanifesting after being destroyed by Lucifer's power, they would be an uncontrollable existence. Any time alone would give them power to build and work on ways that, at the very least, could frustrate Lucifer for the rest of eternity. This would leave him having to return to heaven, and thus he allows the annual extermination each year to stop the sinners from rising up against him, and with the Ars Goetia on their side, they would be even more powerful. The Overlords are also very much in control of the systems that controls the general sinners, so between the Overlords and Goetia, the same problem could arise. But if you want an exact breakdown on Lucifer versus the Overlords, or the Overlords versus the Ars Goetia, let me know in the comments down below, or any other Has-Been Hotel versus or general lore videos you want me to cover next. See you guys next time.